How's the audio? Are we? I'm not gonna start playing until I find out if we good. Can you hear my voice? You know what I mean? Everything should be okay. We got the good device. I'm not ready to totally retire my original camera, but I'm definitely stepping up. So, this is a higher megapixel camera right here. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but it looks a little bit more stunning, if you ask me. It looks a little bit more stunning, a little bit more true to color. But can you hear me? Do you hear my voice? T. Carey Wright, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. Can you hear me? I'm not. Okay. All right. Now I will move out. Yeah. Christmas show, baby. I hope y'all had a good one. If you're still drunk, I ain't mad. My brother Tom is in the house. Word. Yeah. 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 Hope y'all Christmas is good. not. When it comes to the babies ones you got. Yeah. The kids you claim, baby. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. It's the daily go-get-a-mism show. You think it ain't when it is. You think it won't when it wins. We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, thinking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talk about the kids you claim tonight, all right? The kids that you claim. Now, when we say the kids that you claim, we're not talking about taxes. Shout out to Carrie. Shout out to Come On Carrie. But we're talking about the ones that you actually lay claim to. Like, yo, that's my son. That's my daughter. That's my baby. You know, these are my babies right here. And that can happen in a variety of ways. You can be talking about the kids that you have laid your seed down with and created. You, her, and the will of God. Or you could be talking about kids that don't belong to you genetically or biologically, but you have formed a bond with those children, probably with the mother as well. And those are the children that you take care of, and you look at them and claim them as your own. So just because they may not have your last name, just because they may not have your bloodline, just because they may not be familially associated with you, does not necessarily mean that those aren't the children that you claim. And we're going to have to get deep into this topic tonight, because this covers a lot of ground. Because we could be talking about, for all of the men that are listening out there, if y'all ain't trolling yet, what about the men out there who are still holding down a child from a woman that he's no longer romantically involved with? Like, yeah, me and his mom, or me and her mom were together for so many, a certain amount of years of her life. And I consider those to be my kids. So I still send them money. I still go and get them. I put them with my kids. They recognize, my kids as their brothers and sisters or whatever. It goes like that. Sometimes, not all the time. Not all the time, but we are talking about when it gets deep. Varshay McDonald's all up in the house. Good to see you, my always. And Rochester Jones says, I love being a step pops, especially when the kid don't respect me. Okay, cool. All right. And Kelly Stewart says, I love your music. I appreciate that. I don't hear a lot of people say that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And Richard Molina said, hate from California. Dag. I normally get love from California, but I'll take some hate from California. It's all good. What's up, my brother Tom says, Sun 752 in chat. Says, I'm definitely not taking care of no other man's kids, and I don't care what anybody thinks about that. I didn't create the baby, so I'm not taking care of the baby. Wow. So if you got with a woman and she had kids already, and you really, fell in love with the woman, you wouldn't form a bond with her kids? Damn. Okay. And, it's funny that, you would take that perspective, because a lot of men don't even have a relationship with their own biological kids. Now, I've run the gamut as far as the possibilities and probabilities of manhood and fatherhood. So I've seen situations where, yeah, a man didn't really have a good relationship with his own biological children, but he had a hell of a relationship with his stepkids or with his wife's or his lady's kids. He may have raised them or been in their lives since they were babies. Meanwhile, with his own kids, he may have been denied the opportunity or chances to be able to be around his own kids. Or, well, you know how it goes. Sometimes, you have to deal with a little baby mama drama, and sometimes the baby mom, turns kids off from their father, if it's possible. I've seen it done. I've seen it done manually. So, there's a lot to it. But you can't be forced into a fatherhood situation. So I respect that. It sounds coarse and unfeeling. You know what I mean? Because kids didn't ask to come into this world. And they didn't ask for guidance, but they all need it. There's not a child out there that doesn't need a father. So whether the father is a biological father or as my 5% Nation brothers used to tell me, they used to be like, son, a father is one who furthers knowledge. So whenever you teach a child something, or even adult, when you show them the way, when you bestow your wisdom upon them, and when you change their lives and have an impact on them that rears them and takes them off of the negative path into the good way, then you become a father. You become a father. You know what I mean? So in that way, I have many sons. Varshay! Yo, I appreciate me some you. I appreciate you mucho. You know how that go. Thanks for the gift, ma. When I saw it, I was like, huh? I appreciate me some you. You know that is true. You know how I do. I like the fact that you come by and you always say, yo, son, you fly. And I like it. Drinks I spike. I appreciate what you're doing right now. I ain't gonna let nobody ever talk to you like a clown. That's my word. Thank you so much. Let me see. Carrie says, a lot of young people, men and women, want to build with someone where they're experiencing parenthood together for the first time. And that's, I understand that. I understand that. But I also understand it to the degree that just because you start from scratch doesn't mean that you're going to do well. I understand wanting to do it, forge your own thing, forge your own way. But when we're talking about people, when we're talking about children in particular, when we're talking about children, I have to soften my stance on, I ain't taking care of no other man's child, blah, 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 because that's almost like desecrating the situation of how the child came into this world. And even though you're not blaming the child for it, you're actually punishing the child for it. So what's the difference? But that's just the way I feel about it. Now, all right. And listen, man, I'm gonna try to be careful with this, but I'm gonna say how I feel. When we do this in a situation, with friendship, like, well, I don't want no friends that I gotta meet through somebody else. So if I don't meet the friend by myself on my own, then we can't be friends. Like, that makes sense to you? So you can't be introduced to a friend? Nah, all my friends got to be organic, grown right out of the soil. I don't want no friends of friends, only my friends. Okay. Or I don't want to be with no woman that ever been with another man. I need me a virgin. I need me a straight V. Nigga, you 47 years old. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Yeah, well, you're not sounding like you make no sense. Everybody has been with somebody else, including you. So what are we talking about? And I remember that being younger, you know what I mean? Dudes talking about something, man, I want a virgin. Like, man, what's up with that sadistic shit? So you want somebody with zero experience so you can, you know what I mean? So you can be hurting her the first time y'all do it and all of this kind of, yo, man, niggas' ego be out of control, son. Niggas' ego be out of control. Meanwhile, here I am out here, and when I was a young boy, I'm like, yo, I want to join. Give me a side up. Give me a hoe, a brown hoe with a side of a light skinned slut. But I don't want her to have been with everybody, but I want her to make me feel like she been with somebody. Oh, man. Carrie said, I understand that just because you start from scratch doesn't mean that you won't be starting over in the future. A victim of the same scenario that you wouldn't accept when you were younger. Wait. Okay. All right. Oh, dude was tripping? All right, it's cool. Believe it or not, there are still men who want virgins. You don't say. You don't say. I know some 50-year-old men that will question a woman about her whole sexual history. I wish I could be like Cyrano de Bergerac for some of these chicks. I would be like, you'd be like, well, how many men have you been with? I'd be like, yo, you not trying to get your dick sucked or what? Just let me know. That's what, if I was speaking for a woman, that's what I'd be like, look. So you saying you don't want my dick sucked? I mean, you don't want, you don't want your dick sucked with, you know what I mean, with the experience. You don't want the superhead. That's all you gotta do. Just let me know. Just, I mean, you know, we don't have to waste a lot of time here. Tom says, if my two sons having friends and they have a single mother and they be like your dad, cool. I don't mind being a mentor and someone that they can talk to, even asking them to play games. Yeah, but that's a little different than what I'm talking about. Carrie says, we were talking about wanting to experience parenthood together, but what if the relationship doesn't work out 10 years down the line? Now you have kids and some people don't want to date you. I mean, this is human experience. And you know, I don't know about you, Tom, but a lot of men say this shit, but they ain't living this shit. It's just like, you know, how a lot of dudes will say, like, I don't want no chick that wear weaves or, you know, wigs or makeup and all of that, but they be going for these chicks. Somebody lying. So this is something that we got to deal with. We're going to deal with it tonight, though. So how was y'all Christmas, man? You know what I mean? You know, we getting all into the show and all that. Please do me one favor. Hit the like button. Hit the like. Please, one thing. Yo, hit the like. Please, one thing. Hit the like. Please, one thing. Yo, hit the like. One thing. Hit the like. Hit the lie. the light, hit the light, hit the light, hit like button light, hit the light, hit the light, hit the light. I ain't selling nothing, just hit the light. I ain't taking nothing, hit the light. I'm thankful about everything, just hit the light. I'm willing to work for anything, hit the light. Just hit the like, baby. 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 Like, baby. Hit the like, baby. Hit the like, baby. Hit the like, hit the like, baby. Hit the like, baby. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Word. Yeah. Hit the like button. Do the thing, baby. That's my boy. I hit the like button. That's how we do, yo. One time, hit the like button. The like button. Song for you. I hit the like button. Hit the like button. I know how we do. Hit the like button. Let's get it poppin'. Hit the like button. Don't stop, baby. All right. So I'm gonna get my toys out the way. Get my toys out the way. Let the hardware. Let the hardware. And we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. You know what? While I'm here, let me give me medicina. Medicina. Get the medicina popping. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How you doing? Yeah. I know. I go. So put that over here. We fluctuating hard tonight, but it's cool. Things come the way they come. So, hold on. Okay, cool. So we talking about the kids or the children that you claim. Listen, throughout a man's life, he's going to deal with different women. Now, that's not to say that a man won't find a woman that he likes at a very young age. One little disclaimer that I have to make about this show is that I'm not only talking about men. But I have to make men the focal point because so many men have so many convictions and restrictions when it comes to fatherhood, when it comes to manhood. So we have to make sure that we put them out there because men are the ones who often walk away. Women normally aren't the ones that we have to charge with claiming a child because they have the babies. And most women are in their children's lives. Whether you like the way that they're in their children's lives or not, they're normally there, right? So when we start talking about the children that you claim, we're also talking about women who claim other kids too. How many mothers out there have taken on wayward or abandoned children of their friend of their children's friends? Like, you know, your teenage son's friend, mom kicked him out of the house. Oh, you want to sell drugs in my house? Get the fuck out. Oh, you want to disrespect this house? You don't want to listen to what I say? All right, we get the fuck out. Yo. Oh, I know you ain't even act like you not trying to take this ass whooping. Get the fuck out. And here you are. All right, well, I'm going to talk to his mom and I'm going to try to see if we can get the situation together because But he can stay here for the night. He can sleep in such and such room, or he can sleep on the bunk bed, or we can pull out the couch bed. He can sleep in the basement. We got the blow up bed. We got the air bed. He can sit on the couch, but not no long time because he ain't gonna be fucking up my furniture. Get the fuck out. The fuck, nigga. Fuck that. The fuck out. The fuck. So many women, mothers, single mothers, and married mothers have taken on extra children. Foster child turned into an actual child. Shout out to all of the good foster parents, because I've seen some shaky ones. I've seen some. Woo, Lordy. I have seen my share of shaky foster parents. Them foster parents that's really doing it for the money. So anyway, when we talk about the kids or the children that you claim, I think that when you form a bond, when you form a heartfelt bond with the child, you're going to treat that child like home. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And there really isn't too many things that are more beautiful than watching a child that really could have gone the wrong way and steering them in the right way. There really isn't too many things in this world that's better than that. It's like you got people out here that are bringing a rescue animal, a dog or a cat, scared as shit. Meow. Meow. It's worse when it's a dog. Alpo, you want to give me Alpo? The last person that gave me Alpo went upside my head. Oh, woof, woof, woof. That motherfucker scared of the cat. So, yeah, like I said, there aren't too many things in this world that are more beautiful than that. That are more brutal. You know what I mean? That shit real brutal. Real brutal. But anyway, so, yeah, the children that you claim, they can be biological or they can be non-biological. But more than likely, any child that you claim is a child that you really love like that. Like you straight from the soul with it. Of course, that's not going to be every child. But it should at least be with the children that are biologically yours. It ain't always like that. So, all right. So. You got me so. You got me so. Oh, no, you make me so. Shout out to the original Floetry. You know what I mean? Shout out to Marsha Ambrosius. Shout out to Floetic. All right, take my seat over here. I'm gonna go over here and get my seat, cop my seat. And, you know what I mean? Y'all just stay put. We're gonna finish talking about what we gotta talk about over here. You know what I mean? I'm over here. You know what I mean? But your chair, man. Let's go over here and do what we do. We're gonna do it. Come on, chair. Come on, chair. This the chair that I claim. This is the chair that I claim. Everybody good? Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. You know I'm gonna show out. You know I'm gonna show out tonight, Varshay. I'm in the mood. I'm very much in the mood tonight. Let me see. Wow. Let me see. Time says, son, I really don't celebrate Christmas, but I definitely respect people who love Christmas. Like I told my two sons, it's not about gifts, it's about your presence to your children. Okay. Carrie says, my Christmas was corny. I need a boyfriend so I can get the best Christmas gift I ever Christmas gift ever created. Well, damn. You know, all right, hold on. Tom says, son, and that'll be a great question too. If you don't celebrate Christmas, but the kids celebrate Christmas with the other side of your family. Oh, with the other side of the family that don't put no pressure on me. It's for the kids, right? Is Christmas for the kids? I think Christmas is for everybody. I think the presents are for the kids. Of course, you know, I'm open to dispute when it comes to that. But to me, Christmas is for everybody, regardless of your religion, especially the way people out here celebrate it. It ain't about nothing but a material thing in some gatherings. What's the difference between Christmas and the summertime cookout? When you really think about it, y'all didn't go to church. Y'all ain't praying and shit. Y'all ain't celebrating the birth of Jesus. That's not what y'all doing. Y'all exchanging gifts, cooking, eating, drinking, having a good time, listening to music, watching the kids do their thing. That's what you're doing. Christmas is for everybody. The gifts are for the kids. But that's just how I say it. Rashi says, Carrie Ella, maybe that will help me with my anxiety. Tom says, there's some foster parents that be taking the money. Plenty of them. I've known some. I know some. And you have to think, like, would a kid be in a better situation with a foster parent that really was just in it for the money, or their real parent that couldn't even parent well enough to keep the kid? At least the foster parent that's in it for the money will do the things necessary in order to keep the check coming. So there has to be a level of service and care that they are performing. But the kid's biological mom or dad or whatever, I mean, listen, man, I don't know about you, but I can't respect no parents that can't keep their kids. What do you mean? Your kids in foster care. What do you mean? You mad at because DHS took your kids? And DHS is Department of Human Services in the city of Philadelphia. It's CPS in other places. It's DIFUS in Jersey. I forgot what it is in New York. But every state has their own agency. Sometimes it's a local thing. Tom says, son, I kind of agree with you. It's just an extension of my soul food on Christmas. I'm just saying. Listen, man, you know, I haven't celebrated Christmas in its Christian form ever. My mom didn't make it. My mom grew up in church. She didn't make us go. That's just a fact. But we had Christmas. We had Easter. Celebrated the holidays. Fuck it. I got a new suit on Easter and also a street outfit for Monday at school. That's how I went. That's how I grew up. Mom like nice clothes. Facts. Some of these kids have trauma not being able to be around their father. Just imagine if you was dealing with a foster kid. Listen, man, that's a responsibility that should not be taken lightly. But it goes along with this topic tonight. It absolutely fits. That being a foster parent is nothing to play around with. Even if you are just supplementing your income, because Even if you are just supplementing your income, you're going to find out that that income is not enough. What they pay a foster parent only looks like a good amount of money to people who aren't foster parents. But when you really think about it, that stipend that they get to be a foster parent is low when you consider when you're dealing with the maintenance of a child that's not yours, that does not have your culture, your cultural background. Even if y'all are the same race, they don't have your cultural background because they have been in an abusive situation or a neglected situation. And that's obviously not what you would do with your kids, because you wouldn't be a foster parent if that was the case. So dealing with a child that doesn't know any good things about life, that doesn't know the good side of life, and you have to try to build trust with that child or try to give them some type of guidance so they can get out of a dangerous situation, because a lot of foster children have been exposed to violence, and they're also predisposed to violence. So they've been taught to handle all of their problems in a violent way whenever they don't understand something, whenever they don't agree with something or somebody. And you're dealing with that as a foster parent. That shit ain't no small responsibility. And for the money that they get, yeah, it seems, like I said, it seems like a lot of money to people who don't do foster parenting. But for the people who do foster parenting, they know what time it is. That shit is crazy. Like, this ain't enough money for this shit. This child is off the chain. I done been up to the school every day since I took him on. I'm ready to send him back. Buana Haguski, my dude, what's up? He says, I'm not Christian either, so Christmas is another day for me, even though I love the holiday season. Yo, I'm 100% with you on that. I like that shit. Mariah Jenkins, my bad. Hey, boo, it's me again. Today is my birthday. Well. Happy birthday. Yo. Are we talking about Christmas or are you talking today? Yo. Is it the 25th or is it the 26th? Whatever is good. I hope you're healthy, not sick. And you picked the day to come in this world, on this earth, yo, from your day of birth. Hope you learned a lot and teach it even more. Yo, we're gonna be like this, even up the score. And you're the focal spotlight of the day. Let's get it right. Yo, so happy birthday to you. Yo, you know what time it is and you know we do. Yo, I hope that you shine. I hope that you get yours. Hope that you get mine. I'm in it for the long haul. You know how this goes. Yo, give me a call. Yo, rock the Mizzy. You know what time it is. It's time for us to really get busy. And I'm right here. Yo, happy birthday too. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. One more. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And many more. I said, many more. Yo, much in store. I said, many more. I said, much in store. I said, many more. I said, much in store. Do it to death, ma. Do it to death. I mean, look how far we've come. She was a troll last week. She being celebrated this week. That's what I'm talking about. The 26th is your birthday. That's more than a soul clap. That's a whole clap. That's what's up. Do the damn thing. Richard Jones says that question for me is true for now. But if I get divorced, I would be a stepfather as I have kids now. Well, look, let me tell you like this. Because of the way I grew up, I have to have nothing but respect for any man that steps up to the plate and sees beyond the relationship that he has with a woman. And sees any man that sees the need that a child has and decides to fulfill that need. And not just no material things. I'm not talking about buying a pair of Jordans or a PlayStation 5. Not that there's anything wrong with a fresh pair of kicks and a fly ass game system. Nothing wrong with that. But when you see what a child really needs, love, respect, affection, guidance, direction, then you start seeing, what it really is. Yo, my mellow, my man, get on the mic and won't you take it to stand, baby. And I say, hey, yo, what up, my brother? Goes all around the world in just a day. That's what I'm talking about. That's my favorite Christmas song.
I'm calling to the Go Get 'Em show. My bro is on the phone, I know, and then it's over now. I'm so happy. Christmas is over today.
It's over today. That's what's up, man. Good looking.
What's going on with you, bro?
Man, I'm feeling like a real man should, and I'm sad. I'm sad that Christmas is over.
I've been wanting to say this. If I ain't just calling right now, you'd be still beating on your damn drum.
Everything good, man? Everything good?
Hey, man, I'm here, man. I'm here.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna take that. Take that.
I'm here, man. You know, I told you in the chat, around this time of year, Mom Duke's been going 5 years, so it's, it always get a little hard around this time of year because certain holidays are my favorite holidays. You know what I mean? And this is one major one.
Yeah.
So you just notice she up there and enjoying the day with the other ancestors.
Well, peace to you, man. Peace, blessings, and comfort to you and yours. I was talking to my daughter earlier, and she was expressing the same thing. Like she had broke down earlier today, and because this is her first Christmas without her grandmother, and her grandmother really loved Christmas. I mean, that was her thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was a thing. You know what I'm saying? So, it's rough for them. It really is. It's rough for them. It's a lot more than that.
The first year. This is not even a year for them. So this is just like
they barely made it through Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now they got to make it through Christmas and New Year's and all. You know what I mean? The holidays mean different things to different people, but that's why I ain't want to talk about that tonight. So, but what
No, I just want to just put that out there.
No, you good. You good, but you about to drag me down in the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying?
We're not doing that. We ain't doing that.
No, I'm saying I was about to do it. I was about to do it.
You must beat the drum again.
I was about to do it though.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? I was about to do it though. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. That's all I ask. Just please hit the like button.
Man.
Huh?
I like the sweater, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that, my dude. You know what I mean? This is not a new sweater. This is not a Christmas sweater, although I felt like it was Christmas worthy. You know what I mean?
We do know that your wardrobe is you have a strong wardrobe. You know what I mean?
I still. But anyway,
you for years, bro.
I still, man. I'm a booster. I'm a booster. I'm a booster. But nah, man. Some real shit. We talking about the children that you claim. So we talking about men and women who take on non-biological children as their own. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the love is there. You know, they doing it from the heart. And then you also have, you know, people who have biological children that they don't claim.
Yeah.
Like they're two sides. There are multiple sides to this story. We might have a hexagon or octagon going on. And there are a lot of different sides to this thing.
Well, I can attest to some of the shit that we get ready to talk about. I can attest to some of that because it takes me out because, you know, it takes me out because when you sit back, right, and you know, you take on the responsibility of somebody else's child, and then you make sure they get the degree, you make sure they get the diploma. You know, you had them on your health insurance, your health insurance, shit they was inside your life insurance. You know, and you took them to their doctor's appointments, some late nights when they forgot to tell you they had reports due and had things done needed things done for school, and you did everything. And then when the father steps up after you done everything, and now his daughter, which you look like is their daughter, that had grandkids, he stepped in and been trying to be a great grandfather, and now she's in love with the father for being a great grandfather. And at some point, don't even realize that you're still a grandfather and you're a father and a grandfather. But take more of a liking to the father now. And you're like, what the fuck? You start sounding like Scooby-Doo, like,
I roll Raggy.
I roll Raggy, bro. You know, it's baffling to me, man. But you know, but the thing about it, me being a father, I will never ever in my life take that love away from another child that they should have for their father. But you should never ever turn your back on the one that's been your father.
And,
you know, and some kids don't understand that.
And the same way that a father should never turn his back on the kids just because he's not with their mom no more.
Yes, that's the truth.
Men do not understand the impact that they have on children whose lives that they've been in. Especially if those kids love you, and especially if they real young, like, you know, 4, 5, 6 years old. And you know what I mean? They used to you coming around. Even if you don't live with the mom, they used to you being around. You know what I mean? Like your energy has done something for them at such a young foundational age. And so when you stop coming around, kids don't know how to process that shit. They be thinking it's their fault. Like, was I bad? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, why he don't come around no more? And depending on what kind of woman the mom is, man, that answer can be everything. Everything and nothing at the same time. Like, oh man, you told him that? That's what you want to do?
You know, that's the thing about it. You know, like with my first kid's mom, you know, she never, God rest her soul, but, you know, she never badmouthed me for what my kids told me. You know, and she never took me to child support. Never. Because she was, number one, she never worked a day in her life when she was with me, and I've taken care of her. Took care of my children. And when we wasn't together, I was still taking care of my children. You know, and like I always say, you're never going to find a father that's 100% the best dad, because there's always flaws within yourself, you know. But you always want to find a father that did the best that he can do to be a great father. And the same thing with a mother, you know. But I mean, mothers are not held accountable like fathers are.
A lot of times they're not. They're not held accountable by the kid. I mean, by the kids like the father is, but by society, especially black single mothers, they get the business, boy. You would think these motherfuckers was Trumps.
The women, mothers are Every year, the mother becomes an updated computer, while the father stays obsolete. We're American Online. We're the ones that you still need you need the floppy disk to play the computer.
Yeah.
And the parent and the mother is, matter of fact, January 1st, they the updated version of the new iPhone and the new Mac.
You know, a lot of desktop computers don't even come with a disk drive.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, but shit, I'm just saying, you know, we're always, you know, we're always looked upon as this. That's why it's always easy to go do things for fathers, because you can just go anywhere. Ain't nobody packing no house. Ain't nobody packing no restaurant. There ain't 1,000 commercials. Shit, you lucky to get a Boxcar commercial that say Father's Day.
I don't know. It depends. It really depends on how the child raises how the mother raises the child. Like my mom made us, you know, she gave us the money and made us go out and get things for our dad. So she got us in that habit of doing that. And I know other women who do that too. And I've had it done for me. So I can't say that. I can't speak on other fathers' experiences. But I've had this done for me by all the other women besides my daughter's mom. My daughter's mom has never pushed the envelope. The father, she made sure that she, you know, I ain't on this, but I'm just gonna say, outside, even before I became a biological father, I've been treated like more than a dad before. I've been honored. So it depends on the woman that you're dealing with.
You know, and another thing is not even, you become like, my mom was mother to children that weren't her children. You know what I mean? She was mothers to the girlfriends that my sister would have, to the friends that me and my brother would have. She was, you know, some parents, there's a lot of parents, a lot of mothers, sometimes fathers, become mother and father hells. Like, you remember who Mother Hell was? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they jump in and take in the responsibility of parents that sometimes fall by the wayside. You know what I mean? That's when, that's when back in the day, it took a community to raise a child. You know what I mean? So, you know, Mom Dukes, I got brothers and sisters that's not biological brothers and sisters. You know, I'm pretty sure you do as well. Because back in the day, parents is different. You know, today's parents, you got to go through hell and high water. Or you hear them say, "That ain't my child." You know, these days, back in the day, we looked out for one another as a community, and we had other brothers and sisters that wasn't our blood brothers and sisters. You know, and they weren't in foster care. They were still with their parents. Like, I remember one of my brothers, his mom had passed away, and he had about 7 or 8 siblings. My mom jumped in and was like the surrogate mother. Got clothes together. You know, was send out. They was come around and eat dinner with us. One of the sons that was best friends with my brother wound up moving in with us. So that's taking on the responsibility of being a parent, and you know, we do that. We do that, and it wasn't, and that's where you get that type of foundation, a good foundation from your parents, particularly your mom. Because my pops, I put it out there before, my pops wasn't like that. You know, I had surrogate fathers to an extent, but I didn't have that father, that biological father that I wish I had. You know.
Yeah, it's you know, we grow up the way we grow up. Yeah, or should I say we grow up the way we grew up?
No, you're right.
No. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But we can go back and we can analyze, pick apart, and dissect everything that happened to us. But in many ways, whatever happened to us and with us was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? So, like we had to learn what we had to learn, but we have the opportunity to teach what we know. So if we're immature, and when I say the word immature, I'm not saying that you're childish or you're underdeveloped. But what I'm saying is, we can be immature in our thought process because we haven't allowed it to graduate and elevate. So, it can be that sometimes it can be the situation where we have allowed our pain to govern the pleasure that we give to others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we can get into that mentality like, well, I made it through it. You know what I mean? You can make it through it too. When we should be thinking like, I want to make sure you never experience none of that negative shit that I experienced, because
that's the truth. There you go.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you would be able to make it through what I made it through, because I don't really know how I made it through either. You know what I'm saying? And I had a long talk with my brother tonight, my big brother tonight, and I was telling him, I was like, yo, first I texted him. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read to y'all what I texted my big brother. Come on, man, what the fuck? Come on, let's go. It's hard as shit to wake the phone up. I said, I want to thank you for taking me to the after midnight on Christmas of 1986. Listen, I said, I want to thank you for taking me to the after midnight on Christmas of 1986. I don't know where I would be if not for the monumental experiences that you gave me as a teen. You'll never understand how you impacted my life back then. I am forever indebted to you for that. Merry Christmas, big brother. And I didn't have to write that.
Well, you
know what I mean? Me and my brother was beefing for 7 years.
Yeah, was what?
We was beefing for 7 years. We didn't speak for 7 years straight. We didn't speak again for real until my dad's funeral, and I was prepared not to speak to him there. So through all of that, I never forgot what he gave me. So we talk about fatherhood. But I was saying earlier in the show that a father is one who furthers knowledge. Now, me and my brother had gone to the after midnight a couple of times before this Christmas of 1986. But I remember the Christmas of 1986 because I just, like a few weeks before Christmas, like about a month before Christmas, I just got my bomber. He had already had one. He had one. He had the black elephant print joint, and I had the olive green smooth leather. You know what I mean? And so,
Yo, you said 86?
Yeah, 86, 1986.
I got mine that year too. I had a red one.
Yeah, that was the it was sheepskins the year before, bombers that year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leather trench the next year. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I had never went out anywhere on Christmas before. You know what I mean? It wasn't that I wasn't, used to going out or whatever, but he really introduced me to a lot of shit that I hadn't done before. So, having a big brother at that time was like having a father for me, because I was lost in the sauce socially. I was a loner. I was a homebody. You know what I'm saying? He brought me up out of there. Like, yo, nah, we gonna go here, we gonna go there. And you know what I mean? I know you got my back, I got your back, everything gonna be all right. We rolling. That gave me mad confidence. And I wanted him to understand. Like, I don't give a fuck what we went through for those 7 years and shit, because that was over some petty shit, and that's why I was mad. But the same way as he was only 2 years older than me, and barely that, because his birthday is in December, and mine is in August. So he's like 16 months older. You know what I mean? And I guess that's 18 months old. Anyway, but anyway, he showed me the way. You know what I mean? He was a real big brother. So just like he was a real big brother to me, I could see him being like a real father to a child, because he saw where there was a hole in the soil, and he found where the dirt was, and he filled in the hole and smoothed out the ground. And that's all you're really doing when it comes to raising children. You see the holes in the game. You find the dirt or whatever to fill in the hole and smooth out the ground as if a hole had never been dug.
Start watering and nurturing.
So if somebody has done that for you, you're gonna see a way to do it for somebody else. My big brother did that for me. My stepdad did that for me. And there were other people, in my life as I became a man who did that for me too, because there were a lot of things that I didn't know. And there was a lot of things that I did know that gave, that helped out other people. So sometimes you have an impact on people that you never really know. So when you start talking about the children that you claim, claiming a child is not a small thing. It's not a small deal. It's a big deal, because it's more than just a fucking photo op. Yeah, there are a bunch of dads that went around and that made their rounds today. Look, I bought him this. I got him this. Yeah. Photo op pops. There are a lot of photo op pops. But when you're a real dad, you don't even care about what the camera is saying, because you already know. You more like the thick book pops, because you in all the pages. You don't need that photo verification. Come read about this. It's gonna take you a while. So yeah, man, a child doesn't necessarily have to be your biological child in order for you to feel that fatherly energy and the energy that child. Sometimes there are children that just latch on to you and they ain't letting go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I mean, and that's how I got that same type of energy my mom put into friends of mine and took them in as her sons. I start doing that as I start getting older, and I start seeing my children and my nieces and nephews have friends coming around. I'm like an uncle to all of them, But it took me out, because a couple weeks ago, right? It was my cousin came and picked me up, and I had hung out with him, and turned out that my alma mater, Bach, was having like a gathering. So when I got there, I had one of my boys I grew up with. I'm talking about grew up with throughout in my neighborhood. He might have been maybe a year or two grades ahead of me, but his sons used to hang around my nephews and my son. So and his peoples, his DM used to bust it up. I never crossed that corner. But she wanted me to, and I couldn't do that because I was already in a relationship with my kid's mom, my first kid's mom. So every time when I see him, I was like, "Yo, how your kids doing?" He's like, "Yo, why are you asking me how my kids doing? Every time my BM told me this, my BM told." I said, "Well," because I said, number one, I asked you how your kids doing because your kids you hang around my niece, my nephew, and my kids. So I look at your kids as my children, as my nieces and nephews. So when I ask them how they doing, well, my PM told, I got shit to do with that. Never crossed that line.
Mm-hmm.
But if your kids is around my kids, then they're my kids. And I look at them as mine. So when I ask about them, considering how things are going on these days, I'm asking out of respect that of making sure that they're okay. Not saying that you're not a great father, but they do have an Uncle Troy too, because when I see him, that's what they call me, Uncle Troy. Mm-hmm. So respect me on that part. He started thinking about me. He was like, yo, my bad, man. I said, yeah. I said, who you? Don't you know me? I said, it's just certain things that people don't understand, that real recognize real. You know what I mean? Real recognize real. If I come into a bond, I look at your daughter as my niece. And and if anything was to go wrong with any of my children, and I'll be like, yo, son, this, that, and other, you gonna be like, I'll be right there. Because at the end of the there's not a lot of us out here that's like that. When you're responsible, when you responsible for other people's children, it's not just about your children.
Facts.
Sometimes, what you say?
I said facts.
Sometimes you take on that sometimes, you take on a responsibility because you don't want to see that next generation like that. Sometimes you take on responsibilities when you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just told you a situation about me and my middle brother, just the pastor. And the funny thing is, I can never uplift him every time I talk about him, especially in front of his face. And you know what? Every time I uplift him and I say something to him in front of his face, one thing he never says. And I appreciate that. Well, thanks, man. That's why sometimes I ask myself, what room did he come out of?
Mm-hmm.
Because I came out the same woman you came out of, and you don't have no emotions, or you don't have any type of, you don't show that sympathy or empathy. There's people that you can see through their spirit and soul to see the genuineness in it. That shows how you get care for another person.
Yeah.
Especially a child. I don't even know how a person can harm a child, let alone not want to do for a child. You know what I mean? Especially if they're not theirs. I mean, people don't understand, man. People do not understand. If you walk past a child that's hungry, then you're a simple motherfucker. If you can't assist a child that's on the street, that's going through some trauma, then you don't have a heart. You don't care. Whether you black, white, Spanish, Christian, Buddha, Muslim, Jewish, I don't care what race or religion you are. It's up to us as not just a race, a human race, to be there for another child. Whether it's your blood or not your blood. And that's just how I feel about it, man. That's just how I feel about it. And yeah, I was talking about, I believe the children are our future. Yeah, I do believe that.
Mm.
You listen to the song and it speaks for itself. And if you know what I mean, we have a tendency to put the home lowly because of how society is and the way they come off. You try to teach them sometimes you try to teach them not to use the N-word, and they come up with different acronyms. So you be like, God damn, why, yeah? You be like, God damn, they came up with I never knew what that was until maybe 2-3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. He came up with a new way of calling each other the N-word, YNs. But hey, man, listen, to each his own. There's certain battles you can't fight. You can't win.
Speaking of battles that you can't win, the Detroit Lions, man.
It'll be all over in the morning.
I looked at that. I said, so y'all just gonna miss the playoffs, like y'all can't lose another game, and you just gonna get that shit over. I wrote and I just wrote in the chat. They must not have fathers, because wouldn't no father let y'all get eliminated from the playoffs like that? Like none of y'all can have dads in your lives. Jared Goff notwithstanding. I was like, you kidding me? You're fucking kidding me. You gonna let the Vikings beat you? And eliminate?
And they played their ass off.
They certainly did. They got fathers.
They got fathers.
No, they got fathers, and the Vikings had fathers in their lives. They like we just getting our shit together for next year.
Shit, they had fathers. If they had foster kids, they had fathers and foster fathers.
I ain't been that. Oh shit! I ain't been that salty over a game when my team wasn't playing in a minute. I was just like, I was just disgusted. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking at the game, and for some reason I felt bad for Detroit. But then I said, get the motherfuckers out here. I don't need no trouble from them in the playoffs.
I feel bad for Detroit because I got a lot of peoples in Detroit. And they never been to a Super Bowl. And I know that gotta hurt. It gotta hurt because that's the sport where they really want the championship. Just like all those years the Eagles never won. And that was the sport we wanted the most. Yeah, the Phillies winning the World Series was cool. And the NBA championships was cool. But we wanted that Super Bowl because we didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. But for them to get eliminated from I might be wrong in saying this, but that's like the best team that ever got eliminated from the Super Bowl. No, it was the 11-5. It was the 11-5 fucking New England Patriots. How you missed the playoffs at 11-5?
Yeah.
Smooth Bandito said, "Skull." He said, "Skull."
What Tom said Detroit got a better chance winning the NBA championship.
Because they've won a bunch of them.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, what's going on, TK?
He said, "Welcome to Cancun." He said, "Welcome to Cancun." Yep.
Yeah. They chilling. Them and the Cowboys.
Redskins. They had the nerve to play each other today. The Redskins and the Cowboys. I'm like, talk about the battle of the bums.
The battle of the network stars. That's what the game be at now.
Yeah, man. I ain't mean to take it to sports, but I was like, that shit was disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, they can go over there and check on Patrick Mahomes and see if he all right. You know, say hi to Taylor Swift.
I'm like, at least the Chiefs have an excuse. Patrick Mahomes ain't in there to work his magic, even though that boy was doing his thing. He was doing his thing. And shout out to Malik Johnson on the Commanders. He was, he could go somewhere else and do his thing. I mean,
but the point is, do you know how many years that boy been in the league?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a veteran.
Yes. Google him. Google how many teams he can play for.
Oh.
If you look up the word journeyman, it'd be him.
How many NFL teams has Malik Johnson played for? Malik Jackson.
Is it Josh Johnson?
Josh Johnson. 14. Yeah, you talking about Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
14 teams.
Yeah, Josh Johnson, yeah.
What the hell is that?
Yes. He's the main focal point of the Spinner songs. Whenever you call me, I'll be there. I'll be around.
A check here, check there. Damn.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
He been there, bro.
That's nasty work. That's nasty work. That shit is nasty.
The fucked up part is they almost won that game.
All of those AFC teams, all of those big bad AFC teams ain't shit now. Cleveland, I'm sorry. Cleveland. Fucking Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, the Chiefs, the Ravens. It's nasty. It's just disgusting. I'm like, y'all was the darlings of the NFL. Like, oh, the AFC run shit. Like, okay. You see, NFC got all the best teams now.
Well, you couldn't be out because you wouldn't believe that. You know, the sportscasters just jump right on board and just knocked all our teams down the NFC. But the number one, the person that get beat up the most is the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. They beat us up more than
Jalen Hurts had 5 turnovers in one game, right? Now Jalen don't have to worry no more. Because Jared Goff had 6.
You're not going to hear much about that.
Fuck.
You're not going to hear much about that.
6. Jalen, you good. The stars is aligned right for you, my dude. You good. I know you beating the Bills on Sunday. I was like 6 times.
Yeah.
That last fumble though, I was like, y'all ain't gonna challenge that. Y'all ain't going you ain't gonna throw the red flag. What you got to lose, motherfucker? What do you have to lose?
Real, man.
That ain't look like no fumble to me. He was down.
Yep. They just like, you know what, fuck it.
They threw in the towel like, all right, fuck it. All right, go ahead, man. Just go ahead and kneel on the ball. Just go ahead and kneel on the ball. I don't want to play anymore. Cincinnati, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. No, Pittsburgh's still in the hunt. The Steelers is good, especially now. But wow, Tom says, what do you see? You see how God works. Everybody in the beginning of the year was talking about Jalen Hurts not being a top 10 quarterback. Where's the Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson joke? They still not gonna give. They still gonna say he not as good as them. They still saying it. I saw ESPN earlier this morning from yesterday, and they was talking about how they would choose Josh Allen in the playoffs over Jalen Hurts.
I think that's the thing too.
I was like, you do know he's the reigning Super Bowl MVP, right? You do know in the past 3 years he's been in the Super Bowl twice, right?
No,
You do know Josh Allen never made it to the Super Bowl, right? He can't win
you
it.
also do know that he could have been the Super Bowl MVP, the first quarterback to win the Super Bowl MVP in a losing cause, right?
They was ready to give it to him. They was straight ready to give it to him. Like, yo,
Yes, they was.
like,
It takes me out because their golden boy, the heir apparent to Tom Brady, he outplayed them twice.
yeah.
And every time he played them, even in the regular season, he outplayed them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't understand it, man. You keep trying to stroke the ego of Patricia Mahomes, you know, and his boyfriend, and like Trump, which is his wife. I can't get on board with it. I'm an Eagle fan lifer.
Listen, this is a tough ass city to play in.
Oh,
But
yes, it is.
It's the worst. It's the worst. Your skin gotta be thicker than crocodile.
Yeah.
You gotta have elephant skin, as a matter of fact, to be up in this bitch, because man, they will turn on you like they never fucking knew you. It's crazy.
This is the Janet Jackson city.
Oh my God, is it? Is it? Shit don't make no kind of sense.
Where have you done from? I don't care if you won last weekend and you threw 10 touchdowns and ran in 5. I don't care. That was last Sunday. What you gonna do this Sunday? Hammer.
You know, right? But getting back to right. But getting back to what we was talking about, I think I ain't gonna say the most trifling, but you know, one interesting thing that I've seen in life was I remember this dude I knew got with this chick and she had 7 kids already. And he went and planted the 8th. But he never really forged a bond with any of the other 7. And I was like, well, how can that be?
Say that again.
I knew this dude got with this chick. She had 7 kids, and he went and planted an 8th one in her. He took care of his, but he never really forged a bond with any of the other 7. And I'm like, now you can straighten me out if I'm incorrect.
Right.
But I'm thinking like, you do realize that with 7 kids by damn near, well, no, ain't no damn near. It was a fact is a fact. 7 baby fathers. None of them had the same father.
Mm.
So you do realize, he's a straight community baby.
Right.
So whatever you do for him is going to be done for them anyway. So you might as well get to know him.
Right.
I
agree with that. Like I don't know if you've seen the YouTube short, or they had this guy came to the house. The girl had 3 kids. One of them was by one guy, and she turned back around. He went to go get his baby something to eat, but didn't bring the other 2 something to eat. And she snapped on him. Like, how do you want to bring your son something and don't bring the other 2 something? And I'm like, I can understand that. He's not obligated, though. He's not obligated.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was in a relationship with her and she had 2 kids and he had one by her, there is an obligation to do that. There is an obligation to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It might be morally, it would be right for him to do that. But if he's making it if he didn't have the funds to bring the other 2 something to eat, who's to say he had the funds? But if he's in a relationship with her, like the girl had 7, and if he was in a relationship with her, he planted the 8th in her. Yes, you in a relationship with her. When you take on the responsibility of the woman, you take on the responsibility of the person that the children that she has. Now, if their father's involved with them, you still part of their life.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'm just, I was just using that as an observation because I don't even see how you could make it to plant the eighth seed without going through the kids. You gonna tell me that they all gave you all some privacy? 7 joints?
What y'all? You gave them all? You gave them some melatonin? Y'all all sound sick. Come here. Take some of this. Take some of this fucking Tylenol PM.
Mm-hmm.
For real, you right. Because, I mean, it just takes me out when. That's why I told y'all I always ask ask people that's a little bit younger than us. I told no, hold on, let me go back. I told my oldest son, the girl he deal with has a daughter. He has a son by her too. I told him, I said, well, you do have an understanding that that's your daughter too. Because if you're in her life and that's your girl, you have to take on the responsibility of being a father, not a stepfather, a father. Take the terminology off of it. Because I hate the term stepfather. Because I feel as though when you sitting up here and you put somebody else's child on your life insurance, your health insurance, you taking them to doctor appointments, you feeding them, you taking them to school, you doing everything as you would do your own child. That's your child. You're responsible for her or him. That's what men do.
I can't even see a man doing all of that and allowing himself to be called a stepfather. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
You gonna be a stepdad just for showing up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it was did you see the boy? I think the boy when on YouTube he was ranting. He was like, I took care of my wife's daughter all her life, this, that, and other. She's getting ready to get married. I'm paying for the wedding, and she wants her father to give her away. And I gave them a list of people that I want to invite to the wedding, and they're not inviting the people I wanted them to be inviting the wedding. But they're inviting people that the father want to invite.
Mm-hmm.
He got to the point he was like, you know what? I'm not paying for the wedding.
I can't be mad at that.
Huh?
I can't be mad at that.
Can't be mad at that at all. You taking away something that's so that's it's not so much about me, but it's you taking away something that is important to me as a parent to you. You taking away something that's important to me as being a father.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with my oldest son, when he talked to my wife, who's not his biological mom, about getting married, but he never talked to me.
Mm-hmm.
You took that away from me as being a father and a man that want to enjoy in the moment that you're enjoying. And that's not right towards me as a father. So when you go out the way to disrespect me and snap on me because I feel some type of way about something, there's no reason for me to talk to you no more. Because you didn't say some hurtful shit. So the thing about it is people that's children that are not your children, it's not you show you loving them more than their own father can love them. And I give props to men who's willing to take on the responsibility of being a father to somebody else's child. Look at Shaq. Shaq's father was a sergeant. Shaq's father wasn't there, but his step-pop was there, which was like his father.
Mm-hmm.
And without his nurturing and bringing Shaq up the way, Shaq wouldn't be the man he is today. Shaq gives a lot back to the communities and even to the kids, especially the kids. You know, and that's the most important thing you can do is be, is be part of that, man. And when you're a foster kid, when you're a foster parent, just imagine what they got to take on. They taking on the fact that you don't know what mental illness these kids are having. You don't know if they have special needs. You don't know if they're going through depression. You don't know if they're going through suicidal thoughts. You don't know anything that these kids are going through. And you're willing to take on that responsibility to do that, to get the bare minimum of what they're giving you financially. And if you're a real good foster parent, you're giving that majority of the money that you're getting for them, you're giving it back to them, and you're using some of your money. You said that earlier. People don't understand that. You're not getting to it. If you're getting into it for the financial gain, you still got to do your part.
Mm-hmm.
So you still got to the finance part, the love part, the going shopping for them, to making sure they're taken care of. You still got to do your part. Because the checks got to keep coming. So, I mean, you got to commend the person that's willing to step up and be a parent, be a father to another man's child.
Foster parents don't make a salary, but receive a monthly stipend or reimbursement around $400 to $1,200 a month per child, varying by state or need, to cover expenses like food, clothing, and activities with extra support for medical or educational needs. Nonprofit higher payments exist for specialized intensive care, but require significant commitment. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So
400 to 1,200.
No, and it will run out. Then that foster parent has to step up and say, well, let me use this money I got now. I got to use my money now.
Yeah.
It could become overwhelming, but, I'm a firm believer when you give blessings, you get blessed back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that you give blessings to get blessed back, but when you're doing things genuinely and you giving from the heart, I think the man up above notices that. The one thing my mom always told me, if he give them to you, he'll help you provide for them. So, I mean, the ones that go through the high hell and go through the problems in life, that have children, that you knew what you was doing when you opened your legs to have these children. Now you say I want to put them up for adoption? Nobody told you to play with the joystick. You knew that. You know the consequences by having unprotected sex. STDs, babies. So now when you put responsibility to other people, and now you back out there just enjoying life like you ain't gonna go through no strife. No, you gonna go through some hell.
You said the consequences of sex are STDs and babies. No orgasm?
You're an idiot.
I mean, there has to be that consequence somewhere.
When you say this shit with the serious face.
I mean, I'm like, STDs, babies. Gotta be a third option in there, because, you know. But anyway.
Well, there's only 3 options: orgasm, STD, pregnancy.
No, there can be incompletion and disappointment.
Yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? Now you got 5 or 6 of them left. I mean, goddamn.
Like, I feel so empty.
Yeah, they could do that. For real, bro. For real.
But yeah, man. You know, when dealing with children, like we talk about, the kids you claim. I've seen fathers or men that will claim any child from any woman that he deals with or whatever. And there could be many reasons why he would do that. But it's a noble idea. It doesn't always work out well. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, not, this is definitely not a broad generalization, but sometimes the same men that are so quick to take on somebody as being their child would be the men that are so quick to, take that away and pull a disappearing act, sell the child out. So that's something that we have to take into consideration too. I want to take a minute out to talk about people, men and women, mothers and fathers, who disown their biological children.
Ooh.
Like, how can we talk about claiming, the children that you claim, and not talking about the children that you no longer claim? What can lead us down that road? And there are different ways to disown somebody. But I think that the most effective way, and not in a good way, to disown somebody is to cut off all contact. Can you imagine that, though? Fixing it so your own kids can't get in touch with you because you've written them off. That's too much.
Mm-hmm.
But it happens. And that's why we have to talk about it, because it really does happen. Malou says children become adults with choices of their own, and that's a fact.
Mm-hmm. Well, before that, person named Nell called this the Black Israelite channel.
Look. This dick eater in the chat says homies get past 40 and think that they're a philosopher. No, big dog. You're just lonely. Go heat up that easy dinner and settle down.
Well, I mean, can I rebuttal to that?
Sure.
Douglas 4361. I'm gonna go heat up that easy dinner, and after I finish heating up that dinner, I think I'm going to play some 3-hole Molly with your mother.
3-hole Molly.
3-hole Molly. And I'm always winning every hole.
1 red and 2 black. Better try to get that red.
Yeah, because I know her name. Her name is Whore. Whore Johnson. That's what we do to, what is it, Chugless 4364, whatever his damn name is.
Man. Yeah, Chungles.
They had a song about her out too. Horia, my Horia.
Horia. it. Sing it.
Korea. My whole.
Yeah.
Damn. It's amazing. This is what happens when people are not mature enough to have mature conversation and they want to troll. You can't get on here listening to two intelligent individuals have intelligent conversations with people in the chat that are profound, intelligent people as well. You got to add ignorant conversation to it. You know. So let me just go talk. I'm gonna have to deal with his mother when he's gonna have to deal with his mother when we done.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So put the shout in the morning.
Let's see how the poll question is going. We have to 35 votes. Let's see what we working with. Most men don't want to take care of another man's child. True or false? 34%. The lion's share said true. Period. End of story. 29% said false. Many men raise other kids. 26% said there are many exceptions to this. And 11% says men don't take care of their own kids. So 34% agree that men don't want to take care of another man's child. Well, they might be right that most men don't want to do that. They don't want to, but that doesn't mean that they don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not a man that go into a relationship saying, you know what, when I get with that girl, I want to take care of her child.
I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that.
Hear me out. Because some men are assuming that their father is a part of their life. And you don't want to think that you have to take complete responsibility for another man's child.
Yeah.
So when you go into a relationship, you're assuming that the father is there.
Yeah.
You're not assuming that you're going to have to be 100% of that person's life. Now, you might think that you might have to be 30 or 40%. You got to do that little bit to fulfill when the father's not around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you're not assuming that, well, I got to do 100%.
Right. I think you're right about that.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, because one thing I always, one thing about me, I always said, I don't have a problem with the father being part of this child's life. I would applaud that. But when you get to the point of making plans and then reneging on them plans, and now throughout a lifetime, I'm doing 30 or 40 daddy-daughter days because you didn't say fuck your child.
Mm-hmm.
That's no longer your child no more. You don't have a right to say anything to me about how I do my daughter now, motherfucker. You don't. When you're ready to be dad again and you ready to step your game up, then I'll respect that. Until then, kick rocks and mind your fucking business. We get ready to go out. We get ready to go out of town on the trip. Send some money. Let's start with that.
Well, when you was all right.
Speak. No, all right. Speak.
No, I'm about to say this, but just like some men figure that taking a woman just to eat or getting them something to eat, buying them something to eat, is pretty much a pathway to getting some pussy. So you take a chick to a nice restaurant or whatever. A lot of men believe that they should get some ass after that just for paying for the meal. And so when I was listening to what you were saying, I was like, just like a man might show interest in a child, of a woman that he's interested in because he figures because that child is so special to her, all I got to do is step in and act like I want to be down and look what I can get away with. And that's hard for me to believe that that any man would get into a situation like that and still be able to remain mean. Mm-hmm. Like, all I want is the pussy, all I want is the pussy, all I want is the pussy. Because one of them kids is going to make an impact on you and the way that you think and the way that you move and the way that you do things.
Preach on, go ahead.
So, yeah, I was just equating the two things, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, there's so many people out here who have had kids who knew damn well when they had the kids that they shouldn't be having no kids. One thing about parenting that we know is that as a parent, you know when you're all in and when you're not. You know when you've checked out. Even if you make a bunch of excuses for yourself and the reasons that you did it, you know in your heart of hearts when you've checked out. So,
now you had said something a minute ago how parents disown kids. Like, I don't understand. Like when it like let's just hypothetically say, like, what is some of the reasons? Like, one reason we did with disowning kids is, you know, that the gender thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's one thing I can't see no parent even wanting to change your thought on that. I mean, it's a hurtful thing as a man or as a woman, as a man, to see your daughter become either lesbian or bisexual, or your son to become, you know, gay or anything on that. But at the end of the day, if you don't support them, then you are disowning them. I'm not saying that you support them, saying I'm on board to who you are, but I am saying that you support them with unconditional love. I'm not saying that you walking around saying, "Hey, I support this union like this." No, you can show love and not condone the lifestyle.
You can.
You can. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can still show love and not condone the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the part that people don't understand. Or, I mean, being a man, you never want to hear that your boy is a homosexual. But at the end of the day, also being a man, you never want to disown your child.
You shouldn't want to. That's for sure.
You want to do that. You know, I mean, like, I went through something with my oldest son back in October, and he said some foul shit out of his mouth, even up to disrespecting my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no conversating no more. There is no talking. When you wish death upon me, and you disrespect my mother that's deceased, I can't talk to you for a while. Now, who knows down the line when can we talk? But right now, no.
Right.
You're a 35-year-old grown man. You're grown. You know right from wrong. You're not a kid. So, now that's different. You know. So, I mean, at the end of the day, all your kids are always going to be your kids, whether they 80, young, crippled, or crazy.
Right.
Same thing. You know what I mean? They're still your babies. But on that aspect, sometimes you have to restrain. You need to hug yourself and pull and drag yourself in more, because if you don't, then you're going to be part of the news cycle.
Facts.
You have to drag yourself away from being part of the news cycle. and it can get you there. You see it all the time where parents, let's look at Marvin Gaye. You honestly think that his father wanted to shoot and kill his son? No. There was a reason behind it. I don't condone it, but who's to say was Marvin ready to do bodily harm to him and his mother?
Well,
today's kids or children in general, we as the elders have to be able to be out there nurturing and trying to help guide them out of the wrong things. Whether it's our children, whether it's the children of people that we've dealt with, whether it's the children that we came in contact with in relationships with our bros. Because one thing about me, when I introduce anybody to my children, I introduce them as aunt or uncle. And the reason why I do that is because if you ever see any of my children doing anything wrong, you check them as an aunt or uncle. And I ain't talking about yelling and scream. I'm talking about yell, scream, grip them the fuck up. Yes. Because if you don't, I'm going to check you. Yo, you think you see my kids? I'm telling you who you are to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that because that's how you're my brother or you're my sister. That's your family right there too. Just as well. So I mean, that's how I operate. That's how I play it.
Okay. All right. When I was talking about when I think about a parent disowning their children, I'm talking about a lot of different ways that can be done. It can be done because of a falling out. It can be done because of a
relationship that they in with the man or the woman.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen before too.
Yeah, definitely an extreme example. But I guess when I'm talking about disowning, I'm talking about basically cutting ties and support. Now, why you would do this to your biological child is something that we probably can't answer because it's not us who's part of it. But there are some things that I think that children can do to their parents that can be so heinous and disrespectful that, yeah, you may decide to lose claim to it. Like, let's say you had a mother-in-law. No, that's not it. Yeah. All right, fuck it. You had a mother-in-law that was flying in from out of state, and then when it was time for her to come here, when she did come here, you were totally neglectful and letting her be on her own. Now, you can expect that by you giving that kind of hard time to your woman's mom, she gonna feel some kind of way about it. You know what I mean? Because you could have told us what it was from the beginning, and that didn't have to happen. But with children, sometimes children can do things to make themselves be disowned. Because as they're learning and they're growing and they're experiencing, and hormones are raging out of control, and so there's like this big volcanic eruption inside of your head, making you think that this hot lava is just going to burn everything out and ruin everything.
Right.
And secretly, you can become a person like that to your own kids. Kids disown their parents all the time. But it always is a bad look when the parent does it to the child. Let's get to these
Yeah.
birthday shout outs, man.
Most definitely, bro.
All
Most
right.
definitely. It was, but before you go, there was something that one person said, son, and I think you might want to address it. It says, I forgot, go in the chat.
I'm here.
It says, so a family could do a family could do everything right, 100%. But if a kid don't want to join, you have to cut the ties for you to be healthy and pray that your kid find their way back in a better way of life. You see?
Yeah.
What you think about that?
Well, I don't like to take the defeatist route when it comes to raising children. I think that everything should be hands-on at a young age, because then the child learns, the chain of command, and they also learn, a certain level of respect. I'm not a big fan of physically disciplining children to the point where it gets abusive. A little pop here, though. Now, and, there may be times when you had to get the belt. Not from me, but, there may have been times when you were bad enough for that to happen. So it should be more of a deterrent than anything else. Just like threatening to put your kids out or, whatever. All of that should be kept at the threatening stages, because it should never be carried out for real. But look, let's do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious December 25th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special, because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get, hold on, y'all. Number one out the box. Pardon me. Adrian Hines Reed, and also Nelly Chinwendu, Tanique Wright, Sharita, Jennifer Garcia Balbuena, Elimni Martinez de la Cruz, Al Vincent, Kim Halstead, Carolyn Jennings, Ike Love, and last but not least, Jeff Moore. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious December 25th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on and do the damn to rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, listen. The kids that you claim don't have to have your last name, but you still have to treat them real good and just the same as you would as somebody that was close to your heart. You got to teach them math, English, and probably art, a little music, and music a part of arts too. But you got to do what you got to do. The farts too, do that shit, make your arm fart. You got to do things with the kids and make them part of the thing that you would do for everybody that you would really care for, and always be there for those who want to be up under your wing, because you was a real mad king. But just one thing, I always remember that children need love, and they also sometimes need pushes and shoves to get them headed in the right direction. So you gotta provide love and also protection, and don't be protecting them when they do wrong. You gotta let them know that the justice is justice the day long. and everything is going to turn out good. But it's just some things about this life have to be understood, and you're going to live it, and you're going to reject it, and you're going to understand, and sometimes feeling respected or disrespected is what I really wanted to say. But you got to still just push it. It'll go your way. And today is a better day than it was the day before. Tomorrow is for sure going to be the one where you persevere, because you got to make sure that you make that message clear. And hey, dear, or should I say, hey, bro, yo, we going to get this thing popping. And I think they know that we are fam, just like that group from Philly. You know what I'm talking about. 3 Lady Troop. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 1 a.m. for the Daily Go Getterism show, the music show. And y'all know we have fun on the music show every Friday night, 1 a.m. So that's how we doing it. That's how we carrying it. That's how we cooking it. That's how we preparing it. Do me one favor before y'all get on up out of here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Just do me that one little solid and everything be good. Everything be nice. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. So with that being said, y'all have a good night. I hope y'all had a really great Christmas. Peace to you, my Lou, Terry Joe. Time. I appreciate y'all. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me make sure that we in good standing. Wisdom. Wisdom is mine. So do the damn thing, y'all. And I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. 1 a.m. tomorrow night. Without a doubt. Y'all have a good night. Peace. Like button.